What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been like 4 or 5, 6, 7 months or something like that, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks since I made a video. Reason being is I've just been busy. And YouTube is kind of like at the bottom of like my priority list right now. I've done so many baits over the last month and a half, painting a ton of jerk baits, a lot of the Morning Dawn colors, a lot of that cherry bomb stuff. Then we went to the Smalley trip up in St. Clair for 8 days with a bunch of buddies. It's our guys trip every year. Had a blast, caught a ton of smallies. Came home and probably painted about 200 plus jerk baits. And then I just got back from Sturgeon Bay. I was up there for 7 or 8 days, smallmouth fishing as well. We went from pre-spawn to Sturgeon Bay with the transition to spawn. I've never been up there this time of year. And we hit probably the most incredible weather for 7 or 8 days that they've probably ever seen up there. Like this time of year, it's usually cold fronts and windy and blowing and chilly and all that kind of stuff. We got up there and it was chilly, like 40s in the morning, 50s in the morning, but then like 60s and 70s in the afternoon. Flat calm for 7 days. It got really warm in the later stages of that week. It was in the 80s. But yeah, up there was nuts. But I'm getting a ton of questions on what I was using up there. We pretty much hit it at the lull between that pre-spawn and the spawn. The first major wave of fish moved up the Thursday before we got up there. So we just tried to, we tried to get them on jerk baits, on crank baits, on swim baits, on anything moving, grubs. We really wanted a moving bite bait, but we found out it was going to be a tube, a drop shot, a Ned rig. As soon as they started moving shallower and shallower, I mean, we went to this bay and we probably saw 500 to 1,000 fish just cruising the shallows, looking for beds, looking for whatever they wanted to do. It was pretty incredible, but I pretty much stuck with 2 rods. For me, I only needed 2 rods. My buddy was using a drop shot and a white tube and a hair jig, but I stuck with these 2 rods because I caught a crap load of giant fish on it and a lot of just fish in general. I pretty much made it super simple. Used 2 Ned rigs, 2 different colors. First setup was the Dobyns 701C Finesse. This is the OG. Actually, this is the 2nd generation Dobyns. This is one of the cool ones with the cool painted reel seats and everything. This is the 701. This is the unicorn rod. Paired it with the Gekabesian Air TW. This is an 8:5 to 1 gear ratio, so it's nice. Quick line pickup for when fish are picking it up off the bottom. You can get a good hook set and good line drive in them. Paired, this has got, I think this one's got the 8-pound, I think Seaguar and Vizex on it. It's either 6 or 8-pound. I'm pretty sure this is 8. But I'm on this one, I specifically threw a white plastic. As you can see, this thing is absolutely chewed up. This is actually the Biospawn Exopod. I just chopped the claws off of it. It was longer, but I shortened it up because it just kept getting chewed with the Omega Slayer Ned head. These absolutely did work. Super sharp hooks, stiff enough. It's got a screw lock in it. You probably can see it here. I probably won't be using this bait ever again. It has the screw lock, which keeps all your plastics locked in. It's a little harder if you're using like Z-Mans and stuff like that, but I really don't need to use the Z-Mans with a screw lock because these last forever. You only go through a couple of them. But the screw lock is very nice. It's got the eyes on it, which made it kind of nice, a little contrasting. So when you throw it in on a bed or throwing it up shallow, you can see the contrasting eyes and kind of keep an eye on the eyes, especially with the white baits or the green pumpkins. The green pumpkins kind of disappeared in the water, especially when they got down deeper. We found stuff in like 10 foot of water, so it was really hard to see. You can see the contrast on it. But that is what I was using on that one. And then my other one, so I went with the 2 different colors for visual and for fish mood. A lot of times the fish just wanted to smoke the straight green pumpkin color. This is green pumpkin. This is the Biospawn Exo Stick. Now I usually just cut them up into 2 pieces and then screw them on to the Ned. I want the fat part on the bottom and then the skinny part, the taper up top. This is paired with the Dobyns 740 Sierra with the Alphas Air TW 8:6:1 gear ratio. These are 1/4 ounce Neds. I wanted them to fall quickly. I wanted that reaction bite, and we were also fishing deeper water, so I wanted them to fall as fast as possible. Omega also makes an 1/8 ounce, but I went with the 1/4s for just straight reaction and covering as much water as we possibly could. So going with the green pumpkin, this is more natural. This looked like a lot of the gobies that were egg robbing or doing whatever on the bottom. You could see them. I mean, you could see the fish swirling, and like gobies would scatter, and the gobies would come back in and feed or do whatever they wanted. You know, nest robbing, all that kind of stuff. So, and this has got 4-pound Yo-Zuri hybrid, which is more like 8-pound or so. Normal line, it's just a little bit thicker. That's why I think that's 8-pound, because it's roughly the same thickness. It's a little bit thinner. But I went with the green pumpkins and the whites. The white was the visual and reaction bite as well. For some reason, they don't like whites or the bright chartreuses. It's just reaction for them. So if they didn't go after the green pumpkin, I would toss in the white and they would smoke it, and vice versa. If they didn't want the white, I would toss in green pumpkin and they would smoke that one as well. But those are pretty much the only 2 rods I had on deck for like 6 days after we couldn't get the pre-spawn bite to go. The tube would work. Anything really on the bottom that imitated gobies or bluegills or perch or anything that was trying to get in the nest. But I had an absolute blast. I caught 2 over 6 pounds on these combos. I had probably 15 or 20 over 5, and we probably had 80 plus over 4 pounds. The sheer size of those fish up in Sturgeon Bay, like the average, is pretty incredible. We saw a bunch of giants. We saw some fish that probably went 7 pounds cruising. We just could not get them to bite. Let me see this guy right here. We just couldn't get them to bite. We saw them moving up on bed. We saw them swimming around. I had a video of a couple females that were in this cove that were gigantic. And I'm talking about that 6.5 to 7 plus fish. They weren't going to eat. They were just not interested in that. They were just trying to find a mate and try and do the thing. But as you can see, this one is completely chewed up from dragging on all the rocks and banging on all the rocks all week. I cut this one off. Actually, I think I lost this one, and I actually got it back with the net. But that is pretty much all I used. Other than that, we had an absolute blast. It was a good time. Weather was phenomenal. The place we stayed at was awesome. Just a good time. So that is it, guys. I'm going to try to make more videos. I've got more reels and stuff coming in. Maybe some bait stuff. Maybe some on the water. I'm finally home for a while, so it's a little bit easier to make some videos around here. So smash that thumbs up, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. I know it's been a while, but I gotta go back to cleaning the boat because it was disgusting. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.